So we'll turn it over to you.
Great.
To get us started.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Sherry Takamoto. I'm co-chair of the Arlington County Developmental Disabilities Committee, which is part of the CSB. And a little bit later, you'll meet my co-chair, Bertra McGann. I want to welcome everyone and just let folks know, I may remind folks or put it in the chat a little bit later, but if you haven't, today, as you can tell from the description, it's going to be a marathon. We're going to highlight a lot of progress, which will make this a great way for folks to take a look at what opportunities are out there and available, and to begin to think about, as a person who's a self-advocate, what you might want, or what you as a parent might choose or help your child choose for him or herself. This can also be, it will be on the CSB website, and you will be able to, if you want to go over, oh, well, this is the person that was talking about, I'm just looking here, social graces. So, come and see what she had to say. So you can just zoom on to that section in the program. And also, if you have any questions, the rules are, if you can go ahead and use the chat, and LaVoice will monitor and answer questions. But if you have answers or if you have comments in the chat, go ahead and add to the chat. And then I'll talk about the rules to proceed once the 11 programs who are presenting today get to their parts. So I'm going to share my presentation, or our presentation. And you are not looking at a slideshow. So let's try this again. What did I do wrong?
Sherry, I think it is the slideshow.
Oh, you're looking at a slideshow.
Mm-hmm. It looks just like a slideshow to me.
The first slideshow mode,
well,
correct?
Maybe slide one of a slideshow.
Okay, great. Okay. So I'd like to welcome everyone. This is this Listen and Learn Meaningful Days, Meaningful Lives is a project of the Arlington Developmental Disabilities Committee of the Community Services Board, in partnership with the Arlington Department of Human Services, Aging and Disability Services. Today's agenda, we're going to learn about some day support and self-directed services and how people access them from LaVoice Reed, followed by a highlight of a self-advocate, Ben McGann, and how he plans and spends his meaningful days. And then we're going to have a marathon of 11 program highlights, 5 minutes each. So the first on the agenda is LaVoice Reed. So LaVoice, are you going to take over here?
I will. I will share my screen, and then I will let you know once I'm done, then you can resume sharing your screen. So I have a PowerPoint as well. Let me put this to the slideshow. Oh, don't want to turn my camera off. Trying to get to that. The button for actually sharing my screen is covered by the camera button. So give me 1 second just to minimize and pin this. Well, you all can see my screen, right?
It's not in presentation mode.
Right, that's what I'm trying. Okay, here we go. From the beginning. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes, okay. We can.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we'll get started. I'm going to be talking about meaningful day and just what is meant by that when we say meaningful day, and then also self-directed services. Trying to advance. Let me go back. Okay. So how to have a meaningful day. Isn't that a beautiful picture after yesterday's eclipse? How many of you got out yesterday to see the eclipse? I can't see anyone, so I will just take it that everyone got out. One of the exciting things, and we were talking about this earlier, speaking of inclusion, we actually had most of our participants from Arlington Weaves, et cetera, join us for a little eclipse party that we had on top of the garage here at Sequoia. So several of the participants, if not most of them, were able to come up to the garage and be included in that event with the staff. So it was very exciting to have them be a part of that here in our Sequoia complex. So I'm just trying to advance my slides here. Okay, so what is meant by meaningful day? When we talk about Meaningful Day, we're talking about supporting individuals, and today specifically referring to individuals with developmental disabilities, giving them opportunities to explore what's of interest to them, while also connecting with other people that are like them, that are different from them, but have some common interests in mind. And Meaningful Day facilitates opportunities for people to learn new skills, to sharpen, current skills, so skill development, opportunities for building, improving self-esteem, self-empowerment. And then, like all of us, Meaningful Day also challenges us to push ourselves to new limits. And it should be fun, whatever we're doing. I want to take 60 seconds, though, and I want you to write in the chat. I'm just curious, and I can actually see some of the chat conversation on my phone. When you think of meaningful day for yourself, what is something about your day that gives meaning to you? So whether that's work, whether it's running, whether it's, hiking, whether it's journaling, what gives your day meaning? So just take a minute and just write a word or two in the chat on what makes a meaningful day for you. So I'm seeing pickleball, volunteering, feeling loved. Anybody else? Reading, working and helping others. Spa day. I'd love a good spa day. Being creative, making a difference, exercise. Okay, so the individuals we support, they're no different in terms of wanting to have a meaningful day and to be able to do things that they enjoy doing. The only difference is sometimes they need a little bit of support than most of us probably do in being able to fulfill those things in our lives and in their lives. So some quick tips in planning for a meaningful day. So whether you are a provider, whether you are a family member, whether you're a support coordinator, just some things that you want to keep in mind when you are helping someone to plan a meaningful day for them is you want to solicit and include input from the individual. And whether this is someone who has the capacity to communicate verbally, or they use a letterboard, or they communicate with behavior or with gestures, as you get to know that person, you should get an idea in terms of things that they like, and certainly you'll get an idea of things that they don't like. So you want to not just solicit that feedback, however they communicate, but you want to be sure to the extent that it is possible to include that input as well from the individual. You want to also look beyond the person's disabilities. You want to go beyond what that person is not able to do and really focus on what they can do. So just because someone might be in a wheelchair, for example, it doesn't mean that they couldn't go hiking and enjoy being out in the woods and, wooded areas, or being around water and doing other things. You want to look at what that person is interested in doing and how can you make and support accommodations so that they can be able to do those things. So just looking at more than what the person cannot do. You want to encourage creativity and exploration for that person as well, and just, perhaps exposing them to things that they haven't been exposed to. And you want to get outdoors and get physical, just being outdoors and being active in the community, and not always just indoors. You want to also not forget about the importance of integration and inclusion. So not just being in the community, um, but being included in the community. And the activity that we actually did yesterday that I was speaking about earlier, so we had participants from Arlington Weaves that actually were a part, so being present but also the opportunity for some of the individuals, our staff that were there, to be able to engage with them, have conversations with them. One of them, who's actually on the planning committee for our Employment Summit, she took it upon herself to invite everybody that she spoke with to come out for the Employment Summit. So making sure that you're not just having people in the community, but being included. And by being included, you're focusing on them building and developing relationships with people in the community and on skill development as well. So these are just a few examples of some community of meaningful day opportunities that we're going to spend some time talking about today. Employment, well, we're not talking about employment today because we did a whole listen and learn on that actually last year in February. Great listen and learn YouTube video that we can send you if you want that. But it is a meaningful day. So our employment and our jobs give us a lot of satisfaction. And so there are some people even that we support who work. And work looks different for different people, but that's a part of their meaningful day. And so we don't want to exclude that just because we're not talking as much about that today. And then group and day support, we're going to hear, I think, from maybe a couple of providers and talking about group day and day support services that a lot of our individuals participate in. Volunteering opportunities. I saw at least one person in the chat put that as something that's important for them. And we're going to also hear from some providers of a service that you probably don't hear a lot about, community coaching. So we're excited to talk a little bit about that as well. And then I'm going to talk in just a minute about our self-directed services and explain what that is and that opportunity for adding to Meaningful Day as well. Again, just a reminder, if you have any questions as we're going along, feel free to put them in the chat. I can't see the chat right now, so I'm going to actually ask Maimuna if she can help me with monitoring that. So real quickly on self-directed services. I'm going to actually start from the bottom up here. So this is a program that we actually developed and modeled somewhat off of Fairfax County's self-directed services. It's not exactly, like theirs. We did do some changes based on what we are able to do and not do here in Arlington County. So it doesn't mirror theirs directly. But it is a program that was designed specifically for individuals with developmental disabilities who are open to Arlington County's developmental services. So we have determined that this is a person with a developmental disability. It's is available for individuals that are that could be on the wait list but aren't receiving any other local funded services. So that is one of the caveats, is you can't have a waiver and also receiving self-directed services. You can't be in day support where we're using local funds to support day support. But it is an option that if you are an individual on the wait list and you're waiting for services, you don't have a waiver yet, and you're not receiving any other locally funded services, this is an option. And what it looks like is it provides assistance to families through direct funding, where we provide a certain amount of funds every quarter, and that family can then use those funds to purchase services to enable that person, their individual, to participate in community-based activities. So they can hire a staff person to be able to take them out doing different things in the community, to be able to get them more integrated and included in the community, with an emphasis on, again, skill development and building relationships in their community. This was actually added to our services back in 2019 and fully launched. Actually, during the public health emergency, we found that it was a great alternative, with a lot of the day support programs closed, to be able to support people who weren't in more traditional services. So we were able to use some of the funding that we had set aside for self-directed services. Of course, during COVID, we had to relax some of the rules, but we're back to operating the program as it was intended. And I believe to date, we've had 4 or 5 people that have participated in self-directed services. So I would definitely say that it's underutilized and would love to have it utilized more than it currently is. So if you have any interest in that, feel free to contact me directly or your support coordinator. Some of the examples of things that people have done, volunteering in the community, going to movies, museums, bowling, different types of activity lessons. So learning how to ride a bike, for example, or how to bowl or how to ice skate. So there's a variety of different things, so long as it's something that, again, is in the community. And by community, not in the home, not just on the front porch or something, but actually getting out and engaged in your community, or just some types of activities. And trying to advance my slides again here. So I'm going to come back to this contact information sharing near the end of the presentation, because that is going to be more applicable to some of the other providers that we're going to be hearing from. So I have some contact information for some of the providers that you're going to be hearing from today, and then some of the ones that you're not going to hear from. So if you want more information about some of the day support providers, community coaching providers that you're going to hear from today, we have some contact information on the PowerPoint, and that'll come to you at the end. Sherry, do I have time for questions, or do you want me to do questions later?
If there, I'll take one or two questions if there are some, and then we also need to move on.
Okay, so I see a couple of questions. How many slots do we have in Arlington? And did you say we have 3 to 4 participating now? So we are currently budgeted for 6 individuals for self-directed services. And I'd said since we started in 2020, not counting what we did again during COVID, we've had 5 people that have been enrolled at some point. Some of them, in fact, a couple have just gotten waivers in February and January, and so they've moved away from self-directed services and now are receiving waiver-funded services. So that was overall.
Well, voice, did I miss how much is available per quarter for that?
You did not. I need to look that up. I want to say, Sherry, it's about 2,300, 23 or 2,400, 2,300 roughly
Per quarter.
per quarter.
Okay.
And so we are going to the next presentation, Sherry, and we have coming up, I don't know if you want me to transition or if you wanted to transition to the next person.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So the next presenter is a highlight on Ben McGann. Unfortunately, my thing's not moving, but if LaVoice, if you can spotlight Ben, I think, can you find him and spotlight him?
You are giving me a lot of credit that I even know what that means.
Okay.
I do not know
I'm going to
how
stop
to
sharing for
do
a
that.
second. I'm going to spotlight Ben, I think.
Jim and my
Spotlight.
Mona might know how to do that. There we go. I need to
I'm going to
learn how to do
spotlight
that.
Ben, and then Bertra, tell me when you want me to show the slide that you want me to show.
You're muted, Bertra.
Thank you, Cherry. I'm Bertram McGann. I'm co-chair with Cherry of the DD committee. And this is Ben McGann, who's recuperating from his day at Spark. This is a great opportunity just to present some options that families have. Ben does have the waiver, though he's not eligible for the self-directed services that LaVoice just described. But I asked Ben as we prepared for this presentation, what is a meaningful day to you? And LaVoice, I was happy to hear you say some of the things that Ben had said, which is a day where I have something scheduled that I enjoy. All right. And the thing that stuck out with me with that comment is that he wanted to be able to anticipate it. He wanted to know that this is something he was going to do. And I asked for an example. He said, anything that gets me up and out of the apartment. So LaVoice, as you said, it should be physical. It should be active, right? And then finally, I said, what is the key to creating a successful, meaningful day? And he said, you have to ask me if I want to do it. And he may as well have prefaced that with, Mom, ask me if I want to do it. because sometimes we get in front of the kids and say, well, this would be great. I think you should do this. But Ben is getting very good about expressing about self-advocacy. And I see it as a form of agency. And agency is something that evolves from independence. And it's great to see Ben demonstrating that as a result of his independence. So the three things that I came away with from Ben's responses, one is that he wants anticipation, he wants it to involve movement, and it has to reflect his agency. So as we take a look at Ben's calendar, I just want to remind everyone that the idea of community engagement and community living and by extension meaningful lives is not novel. It was part of the Olmsted decision of 1999. Those of us who were not born in this century realize this was very recent. This is very recent. And the Supreme Court said that the unjustified segregation of people with disabilities is unlawful under ADA. And this was the genesis of the concept of community living. We saw the move towards service delivery and integrated settings. And we also saw the beginning of the dismantling of institutions. I'm old enough to have remembered institutions. My mom taught at a school for the deaf. So this was our normal for many years. So as we, Carrie, as we take a look at Ben's schedule, I think that it's important to note, one, he is living independently. He sees some of his apartment mates there on the screen. Juan and Paul and Emma are listening into this conversation. But it's kind of a double-edged sword when they live independently, because as Donna Budway says, you have two nests. Now you're managing your home and you're helping them manage their home. So as we began to develop Ben's schedule, there were things that were very important to him. For example, Spark. There's someone here that's going to explain the Spark program. Spark is a self-pay program. And when I'm looking at the books, I said, well, maybe we shouldn't do this. And I asked Ben, thank goodness, I asked Ben, and he said, no, Mom, I really enjoy Spark. So Spark remained as part of his itinerary. And it's Spark that he said, Mom, I just love getting up and making my lunch and grabbing my bag and leaving my apartment. And I just thought, if that brings you joy, then by gosh, we're going to do Spark, right? And so I think that, again, it reflects, self-advocacy and making sure that the days are personalized. And it's easy for a mother hen like myself to say, well, I think you should do this and this and this and this and this. But if you stop to say, well, what is it that you want to do? Is it okay if you do this? You'll notice in Ben's calendar, he has quite a bit of downtime. And he demands that. He increasingly says, no, I don't want to get a haircut today. Or no, I don't want to go for a walk. He'll tell his friends, I don't want to go for a walk right now. And I think that's what we want to see. We want to see the independence blossom. So we've already mentioned Spark. He goes to Spark 2 days a week. He walks with his roommate and with his friends, Emma, and they spend 4 hours in a setting with others with disabilities. They do Zumba, they go for walks, they have lunch together. It's pretty exciting. And Wordle, I know, is one of the things that Ben enjoys. So he does Spark for 2 days a week. He is part of an autism cohort at GW. Dr. Sean Cleary teaches a course on the epidemiology of autism. So we're in class with MPH students and public health undergraduates talking about what autism looks like, what the policy prescriptions are, pharmacological interventions. It's everything. And what makes it exciting is that the guys get to campus, they're with the students, they're taking the metro, they're walking. I mean, I think this is really an exciting part of Ben's meaningful life. And as you'll see, it's cobbled together. It's OSG, which is going to be presenting as well, which has an amazing repertoire of activities. The book clubs, the dinner parties, the nature walks. I mean, everything to enhance the lives of these young people who have stepped off the cliff, which is what we call the end of IDA mandated services. So the other thing that I want to bring your attention is he does have a job, and I'm kind of moving away from the notion of employment because, as many parents know, many of our kids can't afford to work. They can't afford to have a salary with benefits. And so what I think of instead is meaningful work. And so Ben's meaningful work is glass recycling. He works for a woman-owned company, which hires exclusively young adults with disabilities. And one of the services is glass recycling. So Ben receives a list every week, and we drive to each of those addresses and collect the glass and take it to recycling. And before Ben gets home, he has cash in his bank account. And I think,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I should ask
Yeah.
him if we have time.
Yeah.
But that you need pride in your work. Everybody needs to feel that they're being productive. Everyone needs to feel that they're making a contribution. And this is Ben's contribution, and I think it's awesome. The other thing that I want to mention is that Ben has had 4 roommates in this many years, but his current roommate is amazing. He's a military retiree, was looking for just a little gig, and well, he found us, right? And so he actually manages the recreation programs for the wounded warriors out at Walter Reed and at Fort Belvoir. So Ben spends his spare time with soldiers and Marines who are recovering from their wounds, and it is a beautiful brotherhood. Some of you know Ben lost his dad last year, and so what I wanted was to create a community of men, and with his new roommate Patrick and the opportunity to hang out with the servicemen, it's just exactly what he needed. And Patrick says, "What should we call this? You know, it's not a job." And I said, "Let's call it service hours," because that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to stop now because I think what I want parents to see is you're actually cobbling it together. Ben enjoys swimming. I get him to the pool as often as I can. He swims with Don and Em and his friends. He loves art history. You know, we go to the museums. We've got a private tour once a month. So actually, as it's guided by Ben, what his likes are, and what he expresses an interest in, we're helping to build a meaningful life. And I think meaningful days lead to a meaningful life. So thank you so much, Cherry, for allowing me to present Ben's nominal weekly schedule, and happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
With the slide, I just wanted you to explain a couple of things for me. AFBAC and groceries. Can you explain that, please?
Yeah, so AFAC is Arlington Food Assistance Center, and they provide supplementary food to the residents of Benjamin's building. And so it's not just people with it's not only people with disabilities, it's anyone who's resident. I believe Donna helped me in an APA property is eligible to receive supplementary food, and it's canned goods, and in the spring and summer it's fresh produce. It's pretty amazing. So
he goes to get the groceries.
They come to Gilliam Place. And just
okay.
a funny note about that is, I've had him on a restricted diet all of his life, and he's a grown man now. So when he gets to buy his own groceries, his grocery box is very different from the one Mom buys him. And so there was a lot of panic. Oh my gosh, Ben is getting this and Ben is getting that. I said, you know what? I can't police this the rest of his life. So he lives for the opportunity to go and select exactly what he wants, without Mom saying, no, sweetheart, you don't drink milk. No, sweetheart, you don't need Frosted Flakes. So again, just the agency is what you're seeking. And the community living is something that enhances that for sure, Cherry.
Thank you. And just because I know Ben is very famous, a lot of folks do know Ben. Ben, do you have anything that you want to tell us?
Yeah, he says, thank you for having me, Cherry.
Yes, and thank you, Ben. We really appreciate you giving us some perspective here.
Thanks.
And then Bertrand, I just want to explain that you said Ben wants to choose what he wants to do. That you've done a lot of speaking for Ben. Can you explain that relationship so that us parents who sometimes speak on behalf of our people who do have voices and use their voices, that Ben has a voice, he uses his voice, but sometimes it takes more energy and pre-planning. And one of the things I love about Ben is that whatever he takes the time to communicate has been very well thought out. And most of the times, my head just explodes because he's cut to the chase.
Well, you know what, Cherry, if his mom were more technologically savvy, he would be much more communicative, I'm sure. But Ben is autistic. He's non-speaking. He uses a keyboard, which ostensibly should connect to this chat, and he could type right into the chat. His mom wasn't up to getting that set up today. But what I increasingly do, Cherry, is before I speak, I'll say, Ben, is it okay if I tell them the story about him? All right. And that's just my realizing that I'm not talking about a child. I'm providing information about an adult. And I want him to be okay with what I'm saying. So you'll see a lot of that. But in this case, Cherry, I realize that we're short on time, and using a keyboard does take a lot of time. So what I try to do is have him answer questions in advance, so that we're not taking a lot of the audience's time and Q&A time waiting for Ben on the keyboard. And that's just my sensitivity. I mean, it probably doesn't matter to other people, but I'm sensitive.
Yes, waiting for Ben is always well worth it. So thank you so much, Ben, and thank you, Bertrand.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we have presentations by 11 programs for folks to think about how, what do these programs offer? How might this help me plan the day for my person? And I'm not going to name all the programs, but roughly this is the order. So when you get the PowerPoint presentation, if you just want to go directly to social graces, you can tell that it's somewhere toward the end of this group of slides. Can someone unpin Ben, or do I have to go backwards and do that? All you go to the three dots and you unpin. Okay, so our first presentation, and for the presenters, just go take yourself off mute and speak. If you're on the phone, then just press *6 to speak and *6 to mute yourself again. So our first presentation, and I'm timing these, everyone gets 5 minutes, is Community Systems, Inc., also known as CSI, and Mary Baker is here to share some information about CSI.
Greetings. Thank you, Sherry. And thank you, Ben and Bertrand. Thanks for sharing. Definitely got some good information I plan on sharing with my team as well. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Baker Berry. I'm the Executive Director for Community Systems, Inc. in Virginia. And I was pleased to provide you guys this information in reference to what a meaningful day looks like. So for CSI, the first circle you see there is happiness. And so CSI vision statement or mission statement is helping persons with disabilities to find happiness in their own homes, in their personal relationship, and as contributing members of their community. We drive this home not only on the day side, community day, but also residentially. And so in hoping to do so, we need to make sure we understand what the models of supports look like. Okay, so each person at CSI has a vision statement, and whether or not, and we all should have a vision statement. So whether or not it's achievable or not, we have to be creative and innovative to at least help the people we support to accomplish their mission or their vision. Okay, in order to do so, we need to know what the person likes, what the person dislikes, their strengths, who works best with the person, what does the person's circle of support look like. So these are some of the areas that we will talk with the person to see what the person would like to do when they're out during the day. So CSI is a non-center based service, and we provide not only community engagement, we also provide community coaching and also therapeutic consultation. So now we want to know how do we get there to have that meaningful day. So we're looking, again, going back to the person vision, because again, that's just what keys us in on what we need to schedule to assist the person to have a meaningful and happy day. So we're looking at the community. We're talking about volunteer work, whether it's something within around their community. We're looking at workforce. We're looking at things that the person enjoy visiting, different location of interest. We do interview prep, resume writing, social skills and boundaries. And we put all that stuff together, and then we find those particular community outings or activities to help the person to have a meaningful day. Now, with all the people that we support, mostly there are certain things that they do enjoy doing, but then there's some things that we might want to try. But the key is to keep trying till we find something that the person enjoys doing and also makes them happy. The funding provided with community coaching and engagement and therapeutic consultation, we have Medicaid waiver, and we also have private pay. So the ultimate goal is for all of the people we support at Community Systems Inc. to finish the race, and it takes all of us to work together to make that happen, and more so understanding that it's always about the person first. Any questions? That's all I have.
Thank you, Mary. And I'm okay. And this is Mary's contact information. Okay. St. John's, LaVoice, are you going to queue up the St. John's video, please?
Yes, let me open that. And
while we're starting, is Ebony here to speak today?
Okay, Ebony, hi everyone. Ebony is not here. My name is Zoila Baral. I am the program director of support and employment and also the administrative and billing coordinator for St. John's. So St. John has been running for the last over 150 years. I don't know. Oh, yes, it's on the slide also. So we provide different services like community engagement and community coaching. We have a 100% community-based day program. So where the individuals arrive to our program and they enjoy being out in the community. So we give them choice. They can, when they arrive to the program, they are giving choice in regards to the activities that they want to do throughout the day that include volunteer activities and community social events, educational activities that they can do out in the community. They will be able to build new relationships, maintain, and also build natural support. They also has opportunities to learn how to advocate for themselves when they visit different locations and engage with others in volunteer activities. Also, our day program is a transition program for day program to support an employment. We work on the vocational skills, the strengths and abilities. We try to make sure that they need and wants and meet daily, when they attend our programs. And the best way to do that is, giving them informed choices about the different activities that they can do throughout the day. Something important for our day program, especially with the community engagement, is the opportunity that they have to choose where they want to go. We don't want to have individuals that are coming and find, when they come, they can choose where they want to go or what they want to do throughout the day. It's not they follow the schedule, but the schedule is they have a choice. Maybe today they arrive to the program and they have a schedule to go to volunteer at Franklin Farm, for example. That is food delivery. They have the choice to say, no, I don't want to go to Franklin Farm today. I prefer to go to the Andrew Mark Center. We give them, they have the choice to pick where they want to go.
Zoila, this is Sherry, and I'm going to interrupt for a second to give you a choice. We have your video that we can show, but it's also going to go to folks when they get this, the PDF. So do you want us to show the video or do you want to keep going?
Oh, okay. It's okay. I would like to show the video at the end. It is fine. I don't know really how much time I have left. So
you have exactly enough time to show the video. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
do
We can
you
go.
want to
I
show the
hope
video?
that everybody enjoyed the video, and that's fine.
I'm going to stop sharing. And
Okay, let me
Yolanda,
share my
please.
screen.
Thank you.
Well, boys, do you think you're sharing a video? Because we don't hear any or see anything.
You can't, give me 1 second, sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. Let me pause. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here watching the video because I thought I had shared my screen. So let me try that again. Share. Include the sound. Okay. Okay, can you all see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's about 1.5 minutes, so it's not too
Every
long.
dream is worth fighting for. Maybe it's as fundamental as holding a job, living independently, or contributing to a community. But for people living with challenging circumstances, making it a reality can make all the difference. And that's why St. John's Community Services exists. For more than 150 years, St. John's has been a pioneer in advancing community support and opportunities for people who might otherwise fall through the cracks. With dedicated, experienced staff, we advocate tirelessly, fiercely, and unapologetically to change the world for those marginalized by it. Through education and transition services, community living, employment and community participation, use of arts, and our expanding in-home services, we help people live life on their terms, and we do it on ours. It means doing what's right for those we serve, even if it's uncomfortable or unpopular. That's just who we are, decidedly different, innovative, unwavering in our mission, and built on the natural tenacity of the human spirit. You might not be all that familiar with the St. John's Community Services name, but chances are you've seen our people helping to change someone's world. You've watched someone we've served touch the lives of others. And you've felt the impact we've made in elevating the communities we call home. We are St. John's Community Services, a group of people living our dream of helping others achieve theirs. And in a way, you already know us. Advancing inclusive communities where every person, regardless of circumstances, has the right and opportunity to live their best life.
So that video is available through a link in the PDF that you will receive.
Thank you, Sherry.
Okay. So our next presenters are KMA Health Services. Also, I think some people call them Kayak. And they have probably more than 5 minutes worth of content. And I love that when folks don't follow the rules, because I asked everyone for one slide, they gave me several, but that's all good and fine. Today, we're going to have Montanette Miller, who is the program manager, do the presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. And Sherry, I think I sent you an email that it's going to be Nancy, who is the program director in HR for KMA Health Services.
I'm sorry. And
You're
also
good.
just, you're going to have to tell me when to change the slides too. So Nancy, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure. So good afternoon again, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Nancy Com, and I'm very passionate about the power of community coaching and engagement. I apologize, my camera has a little issue, and the technical department is out, so I just had to be in this meeting. Alongside with me in this meeting, I have Ms. Dolphin Ben, who is the program manager for CareHack Healthcare Services. So we have KMA and CareHack. We are kind of like a sister company, but we work together and to meet each and every individual's goals. So today I'm excited to share with you the vision of a more connected and empowered, vibrant, and community through the implementation of our coaching and engagement initiative. So I would like us to go to slide 1. So on slide 1, we have KMA Health Services activities program is just a community engagement. It's just all about what community coaching is all about and community engagement. So community coaching is just a process where a coach or a team of coaches work directly with individuals or groups within the community to help every individual achieve their specific goals. So the focus on this is to perform their personal development, skill building, and empowerment. So coaches support community members in identifying their strengths, overcoming obstacles, and also creating action plans for change if need be. Can we go to slide? Yeah. So for slide 2, it says, how do we support meaningful days activities? So we assist our individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, that's the IDD and DDD, by first of all, we nurture their interest, and the program which we offer in KMA, it's like we have meaningful day centers on self-empowerment, education, and skill building. So our aim is actually to just aid these individuals in discovering their identity, understanding their potential, and fostering connections with other people. Can we just move to slide 3, the third slide? So the third slide is like literally the difference between community coaching and community engagement. So as I said earlier, with community coaching, our focus is often on personal development, skill building, empowerment. So we have our coaches, which are like our staff, go ahead to support the community members in identifying their strengths and overcoming their obstacles. So most of the times, the key characteristics of our community coaching includes like the personalized support guidance, which we have for each individual. We set goals and action plan for each of these individuals. We also go ahead and like empower and personal growth for each of the individual. Unlike community engagement, where on the other hand, it refers to the process by which organizations and communities will work collaboratively to address issues affecting the well-being of those in the community. So most of the times, the goal of this community engagement is to create partnership between different stakeholders. These partnerships could be residents, the local government, businesses, non-profits, to foster the sense of shared responsibilities and collective actions. So in summary to this particular slide, we say that community coaching is more focused on developing individuals within the community, aiding them to reach their personal or group objectives, while community engagement is about fostering or participatory culture where community members actually collaborate and contribute to decision-making processes after their collective well-being. So both of them are very essential for creating resilience and empowered and even cohesive communities. So has been coaches of KMA, there are various procedures which we offer or make our coaches go through, such as a background check. We'll make sure that they have clear FBI, we'll make sure that they have clear child registry. We'll also give them intense training, which is specially centered to every individuals in order to meet individuals' needs. And most of the times when our coaches go to the community, we have a radius of just 25 miles. We'll make sure that we do the things that they love, the things that they enjoy doing, the targets and their goal which they expect to meet. So each of the plan which we put out to which is being designed for a particular individual has specific goals which the coaches for community coaching or community engagement work accordingly. So that is where I'm going to end for today. I tried my best to run through the 6 slides. So that is what KMA has
This
to,
is
this is what KMA
this
has
is
to offer.
wonderful.
Yeah.
This is wonderful, because I was just going to tell you you had 30 seconds and you ended on time. So
I literally,
for anyone that wants to know about more activities and such, you'll get it in the PDF following this session. By the way, if
alrighty.
anyone is attending who did not get an invitation from me, you are not on our developmental disabilities list. Please put your name and your email in the chat if you want to get on the list and also get the follow-up recorded presentation and PDF.
I
Okay,
see it now.
Our next presentation is our stomping ground, and Josue who's been coming to our meetings, and we really love that, will be presenting on OSG, or our stomping ground.
Thank you, Sherry. Hello, everyone. My name is Josue, and I am a community builder for our stomping ground. So I always like to tell people, what is a community builder? Because I had to figure that out myself when I started working for OSG. So basically what I do is we are currently at 6 properties in the Nova area, and we have 49 adults who live in our community. And, I support them. So sometimes I go on one-on-ones with them. Last week I went to DC with one of them. We just took the train and walked around DC. So just checking up on people. And we also have a bunch of social events. If you see on our top left, we have a bunch of events. You will find myself or our other community builder at all of them. You will find one of us. So we're really busy, and it's a great time. But OSG is a small team. Bottom right, you'll see that's the team. That is all our staff. There's 4 of us. You see Claude, Anna, Margot, and myself. And OSG is about to turn 5 years old. And when I started about a year and 9 months ago, we were just at 2 properties. Gilliam Place being one of them, and now we're at 6, and we're going to be at 7 in about 4 months, I believe. So our mission is to build inclusive communities and strengthen neighborhoods through diverse programming. And our goals are, helping people get housed, but also how do we keep them housed? And that's through, again, like kind of what we've been hearing a lot today in these presentations. What is a meaningful day? And we do that through all our events. We have so many events. This past weekend, we had some fun events. We went roller skating, and I took a couple of our adults to see a football game in DC at Audi. And, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of good things. And we're able to do this through our partnerships. So we partner with 3 affordable housing developers in the Nova area. Just going to use Gilliam Place as an example. That is a APA property. And, working with them, we use their community spaces, just supporting the residents who are there. It's super helpful. And also just, helping try to make sure these set-aside units are filled up. Keeps us really busy, really busy. And funding is applying through grants. It's a big thing. And right now we're actually doing a fundraiser. We're doing a 5K, 10K. So if you have any runners in the call, please sign up, help OSG out and also have a good time, get to know our community. And yeah, that kind of sums it up. I was trying to go quick, Sherry, to save time.
Well, actually, Josue, I have, if you can put our Stomping Ground website in the chat, so folks who want to check out that, and I always tell people, check out the calendar because there are so many things going on. And can you tell us a little bit about the membership, the fees? How do people become a Stomping Ground friend? Are there fees for your service? How does that all work?
Yeah, for sure. And Sherry, I don't see the chat. Like, I don't have that option, so I don't know why. So I can't really type anything in the chat.
Can an OSG person please put it in the chat? Because there's some OSG people here. But is there a fee?
Oh yeah. So to come to our events, all our events are free for the most part, unless we go to like the dinner clubs. I know Bertram mentioned it earlier. We have dinner clubs that just pay for your own meal. So basically all our events are free. Our walks, we try to make everything free because we know a lot of our community, budgeting is super important. So our goal is to make everything as cheap as possible. Like this weekend we went to a football game, I'm just reaching out to people, seeing if anyone's going to donate anything. So we got free football tickets. So, just trying to reach out to our greater community and seeing what we can do to just have a good time. Honestly, that's one thing that I just always tell people to remember, having a fun life. And that's what we try to do at OSG with all our members. You don't have to pay for anything to sign up. Just sign up, go on our website, sign up to one of our events. If it's your first time, reach out to myself or someone else on the team so we know that you're someone new. So, we're on the lookout for you, and you can kind of, ask us any questions.
There's time for 1 minute left for any other questions.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions.
Someone has to read it out loud since Josue can't see the chat and I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, I can't see the chat.
I don't have a question. I just want to add something, Josue. That was an excellent presentation. I participated or attended some of these events. You have never seen joy as when you see some of these young adults who for the first time have an evening out with their friends, who for the first time go to one of the military concerts and sit outside under the stars. For the first time have, a date with friends to go roller skating. I mean, it's palpable to sit at those dinner parties and see them talking, they're ordering their food, they're paying for it, they're figuring out the tips. It is just the epitome of independence. And I just applaud OSG for everything that they're doing for these young adults. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And you fit within your time period. Next, we have Volunteer Arlington and Celeste McKenzie. Are you here?
I am, yes. So I am Celeste McKenzie, the Community Engagement Manager at Leadership Center for Excellence. Under Leadership Center of Excellence, one of our main programs is Volunteer Arlington, which is a website that houses volunteer opportunities from local nonprofits, such as Affordable APA, AHC, AWLA, a bunch of nonprofits like that. We do our best to uplift them to the community. So at Volunteer Arlington, we work to connect individuals, groups, nonprofits, and businesses all together in an effort to promote volunteerism. And it's it really works to do that. It is for all ages, for anyone really who's just looking to get out there, volunteer, give back to their community. We encourage our nonprofit partners to keep it uploaded and active with any opportunity that they may need, which means that the summer you'll see just as many opportunities that you'll see in the winter. There's never a time where you won't see any opportunities because our nonprofit partners, we work with about 370 in the region, are always making sure that they are keeping their opportunities on our website. And we really recommend before going on the website, because sometimes that can be overwhelming when you're bombarded with a ton of opportunities and a ton of different partners, really thinking about what cause area you're passionate about, thinking about why you want to serve your community and what you want to do with your community before you log on, and see what there is to help out with. And what I always say is you may not see the opportunity that kind of shouts out at you. I always recommend going through our partner directory, looking through that cause area, to see what partners are out there, and even just taking that as a connection to then contact them, let them know you're interested in supporting, and you didn't see an opportunity on our website, but you still want to help out. 9 out of 10 times nonprofits are willing to support you, let you know what they have available for like further than what's on our website, and they'll be willing to get you started in the capacity that you see fit and how you see it can be helpful to them. So that's something I always like to mention before you go and visit our website, but I'll keep it short. That's kind of the end of my little pitch here.
Celeste, do you have any jobs that folks with developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities have done, or is there any special linking that you do or specific recruiting that you do for that?
Yeah, great question. So that it would be a question for our nonprofit partners who keep their opportunities on the website. I know many of them will take, as I mentioned, they're usually very inclusive with the volunteers that they're taking. As long as the person wants to help out and serve their community, there's always a place for them. But that would be more of a question for the nonprofit. Once you see the opportunity that you want, we're more of a connection hub for the community and the nonprofits versus we don't personally take volunteers.
Okay, and then some of our providers are here that are, and they're also nonprofits. So you're also a resource for nonprofits, or is it for profit and nonprofits, or only for nonprofits?
We are a resource for nonprofits, yes. If
Okay.
they're interested in becoming a partner and posting opportunities on our website to get more visibility, we're a great resource for that. We also work with businesses who might be interested in doing a group activity with a nonprofit. We often get those kinds of requests, so we'll link them in with one of our partner nonprofits that seem like a good fit.
So if folks wanted to, if any providers wanted to go visit a business, you might be able to help some of these nonprofits. You've heard about these kind of day programs where they figure out things that people want to do. So could you connect some of these nonprofits with businesses who might be willing to host come visit our business day? Just asking.
Yeah, no. Another question, the way we usually do it is businesses approach us and then we match from there. Since I've been on, and transparently, I've been on since November, I haven't seen it go the opposite way where a nonprofit tells us they're looking for a business, but I don't see why we wouldn't do that. I just can't say right now with full authority that that is something that we do.
Okay, well, that's your 5 minutes. So I helped you make it to 5. Thank you so much. And just a little plug, I think, did I see the 19th of April is your Business Volunteer Day?
That is the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, but yes, they're doing a volunteer day that day.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We've been talking a lot about volunteer activities that folks can be involved in. Thank you for coming. Okay, the next is a video from Therapeutic Recreation. Kat Radner had already done an excellent program for this. So, LaVoice, are you ready to share that video?
I am. Let me just cue this, make sure I have this on the right page. Yes, give me 1 second to cue this up. Share, share. Okay, I am ready.
Hello, my name is Kat Travato, and I'm with Arlington County's Therapeutic Recreation Office in the Department of Parks and Recreation. My team and myself are so thankful to have been invited to share our programs and services with you today. The mission of the Therapeutic Recreation Office is to provide enjoyable and accessible leisure opportunities that enhance satisfaction in community life by benefiting diverse individuals of all ages and abilities, socially, emotionally, physically, and cognitively. To support this mission, we offer a variety of classes, programs, clubs, and camps, including adapted classes focusing on art, fitness, gymnastics, and swimming. Our TR Family Night Out program is designed for families with a member with a disability to enjoy a recreational activity together. Past events have included roller skating, ice skating, and exploring nature. Our adult and teen social clubs consist of a monthly meeting and a monthly event where participants can partake in various recreational pursuits, including community outings, such as our traditional Friendsgiving dinner, as well as exploring new leisure activities, such as esports. Another club we partner with is the Specially Adapted Resource Club, also known as SPARK. They meet twice during the week, during the day, and their mission is to empower adults with disabilities to live as engaged citizens by giving back to their community through service projects, acquiring new vocational skills through entrepreneurial projects, and practicing life skills through leisure, learned, guided lessons. And of course, every summer, we run 2 adapted summer camps, June through August, for ages 6 through 21. We offer inclusion support in all of our offerings I mentioned, and any general recreation classes or programs listed in our Enjoy Arlington Guide to Recreation Classes. We provide the following: program recommendations to help you find the right fit to achieve your goals. We create and share individualized modification plans with relevant recreation staff so that they are ready to support your recreation choices. On-site accommodations upon request to evaluate current supports and determine if additional supports are needed. We provide training on how to implement various supports to recreation staff. And we assess the need for additional staff to lower the ratio and provide individualized supports. Please note, additional staff support is not guaranteed and is determined by staff availability, participant support need, and programmatic structure. While our classes, programs, and clubs have an associated fee, please do not let that be a barrier to your recreational pursuits. Our fee reduction program helps everyone, everywhere, every day. For additional information about our programs and services, including how to register, there's a QR code on this slide that you can scan to visit our website, or you can contact us at trinfo@arlingtonva.us or 703-228-4740. We hope to connect and recreate with you in 2024.
So that is therapeutic recreation. Let's see. Share. Next up is the Independent Center of Northern Virginia, and I just want to introduce, first of all, I work at the Independent Center of Northern Virginia, and this is not part of the timepiece. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Hunter, who is a travel trainer for this very exciting program. We did not follow the rules. There are too many slides here. So Hunter, you're just going to have to tell me when to advance slides, and I will follow the rules, and time is for 5 minutes, beginning now.
Hello everyone, my name is Hunter Cardwell. I'm a travel trainer with ECMV. If you wouldn't mind advancing to the next slide, please. The Independent Center of Northern Virginia is a community-based resource and advocacy center managed by people and for people with disabilities. Our mission is to empower people with disabilities to live independently. Next slide, please. What is travel training? Travel training is helping individuals with disabilities and the elderly learning how to travel safely and independently using public transportation in the DC metro area. We have a multiple day program, which is comprehensive and individualized for the individual. Generally, we travel train one individual at a time, and it's all sponsored by WMATA. Why do you want to travel train? I tell people you want to travel train because you want to learn how to get out into your community and do some fun things. You want to go to your movie theater. You want to hang with your friends. You want to be able to go and see your relatives. You want to be able to learn the subway systems and your local bus systems, and not, as I say, for some of the parents who are in the room, for your children not to depend on you to take them everywhere. Okay, you want to learn how to go to your campus, to your job, to your local area. Next slide, please. These are the 3 travel trainers we have at the moment, myself, Mr. Andrew Shaw, and Miss Margarita Bogel. We go into individual homes. And again, as I say, we travel train everyone on an individual basis. The most we can do is 2 at a time, or sometimes as we go on a community service with the ARC, we may do groups, but it's usually individuals by themselves. Next slide, please. There are also programs and services at a glance. We do Thrive Solo, which is a crash course in independent living skills. I Am Self-Advocacy, which is an 8-week course on how to self-advocate for youth with disability and get DARS referral is required. There's Money Matters, which is an online course that goes over the basics of money. There's Durable Medical Equipment, which helps you give and receive durable medical equipment such as wheelchairs and walkers. There is Ready to Achieve Mentoring Program, a career-focused mentoring program with youth for disabilities. Our referrals are required from Fairfax or Alexandria DARS. To sign up, email info@ecmv.org or call the phone number 703-525-3268. How to sign up again? You can contact myself, Mr. Shaw. Transportation is free. When you are in the program with us during travel training, we pay for all of your travel training. We will meet you at your home, at the office, or at a preferred location such as Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or anywhere you feel comfortable. Get you to and from your destination safely, and we will do it as often as you feel comfortable until you are independent in the travel.
And this is Sherry, and you're at 3.5 minutes. So I'm going to just go back to some of these other things that we do here. We are now able to offer Money Matters and Thriving Solo for anyone who's on the FIS waiver. So those are 2 of the things that we have, and then we'll help folks with independent living skills and other things. So I love working for ECNV, and you should love coming to us. Thank you, Hunter. I really appreciate it. I see you're in a car. Have you been helping someone travel train?
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming on my way back from helping someone travel train.
Okay. And then and Pete, my son, has been a travel training person since probably over 10 years, learning how to take it to college, learning how to take it to work. And then he now he learned how to take it to Stomping Ground Gilliam Place. And last month, I think he made Andrew take him to the museum because he wanted to go to the museum and no one ever can take him there. So thank you, Hunter, for talking about ECNV.
Thank you.
At that, and we had 18 seconds. At that, we have heard a lot about Spark, and now we get to hear about Spark from Kat Radner, who's the program director there. Kat? And
Good
Kat
afternoon,
did follow,
everyone.
and they did follow the rules. They only provided 1 slide, so thank you, Kat.
I put the QR code up there in case anyone wants to visit our website. It kind of answers all your questions. First, I just want to say hi to Ben and Emma. I see them on the screen. spent the morning and afternoon with them before I rushed home to do this. So good to see them both. They're both Spark members with us. Spark stands for Specially Adapted Resource Centers. Spark's mission is to provide adults with severe multiple disabilities enduring learning opportunities, social connections, and a rightful and meaningful place in our community. Our goal is to give individuals with disabilities a sense of independence and a social outlet to create relationships with peers, and of course, to have fun during the day. We kind of go on the theme, nothing about us without us, meaning that we really empower our members, our participants to make decisions for themselves and to
I'm going to pause. LaVoice,
Sure.
The video's playing. Can you please stop the video? LaVoice? LaVoice, please stop the video. Can someone please mute LaVoice?
Sherry, I'm muted and my video is not playing. My video is actually closed. It's not me.
Can someone please check? So I've turned the timer off, but can you please mute everybody?
Okay, the person for Spark will need to unmute themselves.
Okay, got it. Oh, am I good to go? Okay. We have 6 locations across Northern Virginia. Arlington being at the Arlington Mill Community Center. It is a beautiful center that we love to utilize for our club during the day. Participants come with one-to-one personal attendance, so they have that one-to-one support. And then centers, clubs are run by 2 to 3 staff that will lead the activities. You know, I was saying before that, you know, we give our participants a lot of input. We like to, you know, keep up with our participants, let them decide what they want to do, what kind of activities they want to do, and really give them a lot of input in our daily preparation. So we do social activities and interactions. So what does a typical day at Spark look like? Our participants arrive at the center in one of our locations. So they would get to Arlington Mill. They're met by the staff and volunteers who have a warm-up activity. For Arlington Mill, we heard that Ben really likes the Wordle, which that whole group loves Wordle. I personally hate it because I'm really bad at it, but we do like a warm up where we do different games and activities. And if they don't want to do that, there will be other art activities or different stations where they can pick what they want to do so that they have choices. And then, we like to incorporate life skill building where they can learn some cooking skills, cleaning skills, writing letters, working on social skills, things like that. We have parties, we do art, music, photography, sensory exploration. All activities are modified and adapted so that everyone can participate. We enjoy an extremely social lunch break in which participants can either bring their lunch and have lunch with their friends in the community center, or go sit outside and have lunch if it's a nice day, or if they want to go off and get lunch somewhere and come back, they can do that. As long as, they are adults, we let them have the choice to do and the freedom to do that. All activities are focus on targeted functional areas of learning so that they keep building skills in a fun way. We also do adaptive exercise, Zumba, music. We have a book club. We have guest speakers that come in and speak on different topics. We do community service projects such as working at the food pantry, community outings and field trips. We also offer a social club that that meets online once a week for social opportunity and chit chat. And we make a newsletter and do other activities. And then once a month, that social group picks an activity. This month, we went to the Hirshhorn Museum in DC and had a great afternoon there. So we do like a variety of things and really just trying to incorporate what our participants are interested in. We are a private pay. Each individual gets a 2/3 scholarship, which is raised through fundraisers, grants, and as of this summer, we've included in the Virginia state budget. So that's kind of Spark in a nutshell. I did put on our slide all 6 of our locations. And if you just scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to our website. It can probably answer most of your questions, but so that is Spark.
Wonderful, thank you. And you did it exactly 5 minutes. Pausing for my faux pas, so I apologize, LaVoice. Next up, Special Olympics. And Bernie is here to tell us about what Special Olympics has to offer. Bernie, I'm just going to go ahead and move it to the next slide. Does that work for you?
That sounds great. This
Thank
is Bernie
you.
Wolfley. Hopefully you can hear me without a problem. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Well, listen, thank you so much for including us. My name is Bernie Wolfley. I am the coordinator of Arlington Special Olympics, and more importantly, I'm one of our coaches. As many of you know, I think Arlington Special Olympics is an organization that's been around for a lot of years. Special Olympics itself was founded in the 70s and has been doing this for over 50 years. In Arlington, we are part of what is known as Area 26, which is the Northern Virginia Special Olympics. It's a very large program. It's one of the largest in the states, in fact. And, you'll see our mission statement here. One of the things I want to always look at this mission statement, one of the things I really look at, because I want to dispel a few things. I think everyone knows what Special Olympics does, but we are not just a youth program. We are a program for young adults, but also for folks in middle age. And I had an athlete last year who was in his 60s, right? So we are a sports program for kids at all ages and for athletes at all ages. You'll also see there's a fair number of discussions there. Of course, we're working with athletes to improve their skills, but this is really training for life. This is really giving our athletes the opportunity to have camaraderie with other athletes, to learn the rigor and resilience that comes with participating in a sport, but also, the opportunity, look, for some of our athletes, the benchmark of what is a successful practice will be different than for other athletes, and our coaches are really great at making sure that we get everybody the kind of success we would like folks to have. We're an evening-based program with some practices usually in the evenings and some on Saturday mornings. We have competitions in probably 3 or 4 times locally, and then we also have the opportunity to advance to our state games. If you go to the next slide, you'll see some of the sports that we participate in. Well, actually, let me just real quick, why are we unique, right? I do want to talk very quickly, right? We're a volunteer-led organization. We have 2,000 athletes in the Northern Virginia area. The athletes are grouped by ability. And so we have athletes who are just focusing on the development of their skills, all the way up to kids on organized sports teams that would give your local high schools a run for their money on their athletic skills. So we have all levels of training. We are very focused on allowing athletes to advance and doing it in a very fair way. And so you'll see there's a lot of random draws and situations where, people may be advancing to other state games and things like that to make sure folks get a chance to participate in all of these activities, and that it's not just the same athletes receiving the recognitions each time, but really working on that. And then finally, at the bottom, you'll see there's no charge for our services. And so this is a situation where, yes, we do need an athlete to get their medical and get cleared by their medical professional. to participate in our program. But after that, the sky's the limit. We'll get them involved in all of the sports that they want to participate in. And if you want to go to the next slide, you'll see some of them right there. And you'll see we have a lot of programs. And when you look at those programs, there's a lot of them that are organized sports programs for athletes who are able to sort of participate in a team environment. But there's also a lot of opportunities for athletes who are just working on their own individual skills. And so, you know, you'll also see there's everything from open water swimming, where yes, our athletes go out to, you know, the Eastern Shore and participate in open water swimming events. A lot of safety precautions in place, obviously, for those, but very much, you know, in line with what other open water swimming programs are doing. You'll see also figure skating, cross-country skiing. You'll see a lot of winter sports that involve going to the mountains to participate in activities. And we certainly do a lot to help folks figure out how to get there and to participate in it. We obviously try to arrange for some transportation at times, but generally speaking, that's something that we are going to look to our athletes and their families or their group home coordinators to be organizing for us. But, you know, there's oftentimes a lot of opportunities to find ways for folks to participate more close to home. Here in Arlington, we have a very robust basketball program that just finished up with the Arlington team participating in the Marymount tournament, where Marymount University had 8 different Special Olympics teams coming out to participate in a day-long tournament that was organized and managed and supported in all respects by the students of Marymount. In the summer, we will start our soccer program, where we'll be practicing in Arlington at one of the fields there. And then obviously, as we get into the fall, we'll be looking at some other sports as well. The reality is in Arlington, we are very focused on basketball and soccer because those are large group sport activities, but we can get you linked in with all of the activities that are in Northern Virginia. So certainly if there's something that we're not doing right in Arlington, we can get you looped in with the right folks. And so, you know, finally, I think just for contact purposes, it's easy to remember our address to get in contact with us. It's arlingtonspecialolympics@gmail.com. And so feel free to reach out to me at that address, and we will get you connected with the folks that you need to be connected with, whether it's for a sport or whether it's getting you the right forms so that you can get your athletes registered for this. So I'm happy to take any questions, but I think I'm close to being up against my time.
Your alarm went off, but since you were just finishing, I didn't say anything. If you have any questions for Bernie, please put them in the chat. And he also provided his email address. If someone can put that in the chat, since I can't get to the chat from sharing my screen, that would be helpful. Bernie, can you put that in the chat?
I will try to do that here, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Our second to the last presenter is Social Grace. And we have what is your title, Jenny? Jenny Conroy, who is her own title, will present. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for putting this all together and the voice, all the information you shared. You guys are amazing. I am Jenny Conroy. I am a native Arlingtonian. I know I hear a lot. I don't meet a lot of them. I'm like, I am one of them. Born and raised in Arlington. I have had the pleasure of being, going to lots of CSB meetings in the past. And I grew up in chaos, being one of 6 children. I was number 5 of 6, and I'm so thankful that I was so close to my youngest brother, the perfect brother, Russell, who has Down syndrome and autism, and my really all my siblings and family, have lots of different diagnoses, and it was important to me, to create a practice where I could house, a community and just programs and therapy and coaching for families like mine. I wish that my family had family therapy, individual coaching. I had a brother with ADHD, and there was really no support from my mom or strategies and tools. So all of the trauma and chaos and mess that I grew up with led me to the work that I do today. And it is my mission in life to share resources with other families and individuals. So we are a private social and executive function coaching and therapy practice. We specialize in developing personalized real-world strategies to help our neurodiverse clients live happy, meaningful lives on their own terms. We provide social and executive function coaching and therapy, community support services. We are a vendor for DARS under the umbrella of community support services. We provide free support and social opportunities and experiences. We have, like I talked about, individual and family therapy. We also do consulting and professional development. We offer social learning groups and summer camps. We are a great partner. Our favorite partner is our Stomping Ground. We provide free social programming with our Stomping Ground and hope to do more in the future. Let's see, we provide occupational therapy in the workplace at the amazing Enabled Intelligence, and look forward to growing with them. Enabled Intelligence is actually located in Falls Church, and they hire neurodiverse individuals to come and annotate artificial intelligence. And we have an amazing occupational therapist who goes into the workplace and provides OT and professional development for their not only employees, but also their leadership team as well. I feel like I'm leaving a lot out because there's always something going on at Social Grace. And if you know me, my favorite phrase is like, we're just getting started, because there's so much that I feel like still needs to happen in and around us. And one of my, biggest pet peeves growing up was watching, members in my family complain about problems all the time. And I'm somebody who just kind of quietly goes and provides solutions. I'm tired of listening to problems. I just want to try and create solutions and be creative in providing services for individuals. No matter what your goal is, let's set a goal and work on it. So that is a little bit about Social Grace.
And Jenny, do you also provide behavioral consultation for folks who have neurodiverse young folks who are experiencing behavioral issues, and is that funded anyway? Is there a funding source for that?
That's a great question. No, so we are private practice, so families pay out of pocket. However, we do send super bills. So a lot of the families that come to us for therapy, we're able to provide super bills, and/or we will work with the insurance company to do what's called a single case agreement. And then oftentimes anybody seeing a therapist can potentially get it covered depending on what plan they have with their insurance company. So we do offer that. But then again, going back to community support services, if somebody, is interested, I love our DARS clients, and the heartbeat of Social Grace are the providers and my team members, who are just the best and incredible and great at thinking outside the box and come from a variety of different backgrounds and therapy backgrounds, and we all work together. And today I was in the office and I got to see some of our young adults that were working on putting together like a meaningful day program within their community support services. But then again, they were, doing travel training and budgeting and working on, developing their social competencies and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's just really fun to see. Sometimes I have different therapists that will work with clients individually and say, I really think that it would be more beneficial to have a small group and put them together. So we like to think creatively and try to do what works for our clients and families. And then the second Wednesday of every month, there's a free parent support group, and we have families who have children of all ages and like young adults that just need, we all, as a parent, we all need support. I need support. It's really therapeutic and supportive for myself included. So that we offer every month for free. Anybody can come to it. You don't have to receive coaching and therapy through Social Grace. It's open to the community. And it's been really fun to connect other families with resources and or just, support from I have some parents that come just to support other families, and that's been really wonderful. I can't tell you how many friendships have been made in our free parent support group. It's been amazing. So that is another, we do a lot of, we offer free opportunities and experiences to get social.
Great. And I love what you said about getting comfortable, about being uncomfortable. But we're out of time. But if anyone has any questions for Jenny, please put them in the chat. And our final presentation is from Service Source. Amanda, are you here?
Yes. Hello.
And Amanda comes to a lot of our meetings. So thank you very much, Service Source, for your participation in these meetings.
And I definitely did not follow directions, Sherry. So
I know.
apologize. I apologize.
We don't.
So I'll just fess up. But if you want to, you can actually skip to slide 4, just so I can kind of condense it a little bit. Right there, perfect. And I just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who may not have seen me at a meeting before. My name is Amanda Smedley. I'm the director for the day program services at Service Source. And want to thank all the other presenters as well, because it was really helpful for me to learn about a lot of these services that are in Arlington. And these are resources that we can provide the individuals that attend our day program too. So thank you so much for that. So we do refer to our day programs at Service Source as LTCIS, Long-Term Community Integration Services. And some of the important aspects of the day program are listed right here on this slide. One of the most meaningful for us and a big part of our purpose is community integration. We want all of the individuals that attend the program to really, a healthy part of that day be community integration, where they're meeting others in the community, they're making meaningful connections, they're doing activities of choice, they're learning about different opportunities, including volunteering, activities of interest, those types of things. So as part of the day program experience, what's important to us is that, just as everyone else has mentioned, that they have a meaningful day, and also that their meaningful day is person-centered. So that's going to be individualized to every person that attends the program. Some folks are going to be really have more of a primary goal of building employment skills. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in one of my other slides. Other individuals need, supports in their behavior. For their behavior, they may need nursing supports for various diagnoses or medication administration. We also have occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy consultative services available. One of those pictures, demonstrates that there in the middle. In addition to that, we have self-employment opportunities, and we're going to speak a little bit more about that in one of my other slides. Particularly, we offer this at all of our sites, but we have a special site in Arlington that really has a self-employment focus. If you could go ahead and switch to the next slide. Okay, so the Woodmont CIC program. So this is one of our programs located in Arlington. I did forget to mention, so we serve over 500 individuals across Northern Virginia, and we do have 3 programs in Arlington. This program at Woodmont is going to be serving up to 70 individuals. Currently, we have a capacity for 55, but that is expanding with the addition of a community integration program that we're very, very excited about. So we're going to have another 15 individuals. We focus on skill building, expressive therapies at this site. In addition, we have personal care and supports and nursing at Woodmont. Again, as I mentioned before, we have occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy as needed for those individuals. Sometimes our individuals, they might have some challenges with their ambulation. So the physical therapist will write a protocol, and the staff will be trained on that to help assist them to be safe in the program and to give them as much independence as possible. In addition to that, we have volunteer opportunities. They volunteer in the Arlington Garden, Food for Others. We're always looking for new volunteer opportunities. So I'm definitely going to hit up Volunteer Arlington for some ideas to add into this. So we're excited about that. A big piece of the program here is helping the individuals find activities of their choice. So they might be more interested in, one person might be more interested in gardening, somebody else really needs that sensory integration. So they enjoy sensory activities. Arts and crafts is big, cooking, exercise, things of that nature. So each day is designed around what that person expresses interest in and wants to do, and the staff help them obtain their goals in that way. Next slide, please. Arlington Weaves. Okay, so Arlington Weaves is another one of our programs. This supports individuals who have that creative side and they have a desire to learn how to weave and produce art. They produce the most amazing, beautiful creations here at Weaves. Tote bags, lunch boxes, makeup bags. I have one in my purse right now that I purchased from them, and scarves, placemats, so many things. You can see a picture of one of the looms there. This is something that not only do they enjoy creating this art, but they're learning some self-employment skills and how to market their items. So all of the items that they create, there's a few different ways that they're marketed. They participate in local shows in the area. We also have an Etsy page, and they have a store as well at Arlington Weaves. So if you're ever interested in seeing some of those items and visiting, we would love for you to come by. A really important piece of this is that 100% of the proceeds that they get go to them. So if they sell a tote bag, beautiful tote bag for $50, they're going to get $50 for that item. So this is helping them, learn skills for creating things, for selling things, and promoting their independence, because they're able to, take that money and use it for something that they're interested in doing or buying or purchasing, and you can really see that confidence that it's building up in them. And it's a creative outlook. They work with a lot of different local artists who help them learn other skills other than weaving. It's not just about weaving. There's quite a few other things that they do. In addition to the weaving, they also dye fabrics, a lot of variety of things. So it's I can keep on talking, and I'm going to go way over my time.
Amanda, you're beyond your
Yes.
time right now, but I do want folks to understand the new employment access program.
Okay, it's the next slide. And I'll end on this slide. Okay, so our new employment access program, it is a smaller person-centered program. Actually, it's up to 15 individuals, so I apologize for that slide. We need to correct that slide. And the purpose of the employment access program is to help individuals prepare for the workplace. So they might be coming out of school, or they might be coming out of a day program where they have a desire to work, but they still need a little bit of help in building those skills that's gonna prepare them for success. So some of the things that they would be doing in this program is visiting different businesses in Arlington to learn about what the job is going to look like, and to also help them figure out what they want to do. Some recent things, just in the past week or so, they visited the Habitat for Humanity, the Restore, that store. They visited the Silver Diner. And what they're doing is they're getting a tour of what a realistic job will look like for them. In addition to that, they're also practicing skills. Skills needed to be successful for the job. That could be their communication skills, social skills, some really hard skills. For example, if they're going to be working in the store and they need to learn how to work with money, they're going to practice those different things throughout the day. And part of this program as well is volunteering. Recently, they volunteered for the Animal Welfare League. They also go on fun things. They go on activities of their choice that they enjoy. They've got something scheduled coming up from the National Air and Space Museum. that they're really looking forward to. And we're going to be visiting our stomping ground as well, which is a great partnership with our stomping ground. So we're excited about that, to have that recreational activity for them. But in this program, they will continue to build up those skills that they needed, whether it's resume writing or exploring their interests, and the ultimate goal with helping them achieve a job, a successful job. And I know I went way over my time, so thank you for being patient.
You're going to have
me.
to speed through some. So these are some of the other things that
these are some of the other things that ServiceSource does, but I highlighted the main things that for Arlington. So this talks a little bit about, we have an AT, assistant technology assessments that we provide. That's something that you're interested in. If you need access to a device that might help your individual communicate, we can help. We can set you up with that. We can write a referral to the AT lab and put you in touch with someone who can provide that service. I didn't mention before, but as far as funding, we are both waiver funded and locally funded.
And DARS funded.
And for the employment aspect of it, yes.
Okay. So just because, Amanda, these are a couple of areas that the Developmental Disabilities Committee has been focusing on. The new 15-person community engagement. That's, I guess they show up at Woodmont, but they do. Can you tell us, you have 15 slots that's starting in July. Do you have all your referrals for that? And are you doing assessments, or is that still open for folks? And who is that open for?
So we are still accepting applications, and we're currently in the process of doing assessments and, doing tours, doing assessments, and processing those. So the best way to do that would be to reach out to the support coordinator that you work with, and we would receive the application that way.
Okay, so there's
if I can add to
Yes.
that, though, all of the referrals obviously come from developmental services, and we have prioritized our graduates first and foremost. The idea behind expanding these slots was to be able to build capacity. And so it was important that as we have students aging out, in terms of our short-term plans for building capacity, was largely targeting our graduates, just making sure that we have enough space in Arlington to be able to give those options. So as we make referrals, we're also considering another priority group, or the handful of people that are not in programs at all. So we have, a few people, not many, that have not returned to programs, since COVID. And so they're also being prioritized. And in the third category of people that have been referred are people that are currently in other programs that would like to be considered for the community-based slots. So as we figure all of that out, we're also looking at moving some people around. I think, Amanda, you can perhaps speak to this, so that there are some people that are currently there in the center-based day program at the Woodmont Center that are interested in moving to the community-based program, or some hybrid version of that, doing a combination of center and community, or just community. And so that will free up some of the center-based slots for people that graduates, for example, that really need more of the center-based slots as well.
So, and I can speak to that a little bit, just to explain the difference between the community-based and the center-based program, in case anyone wants to know. So the center-based program, I described a lot of the different things that they do at the center. Part of that is community integration. So they do go out into the community. However, this new community-based program, the difference is that they'll be out in the community daily. So when they arrive to the program, they'll check in, kind of, make sure they have everything they need, and that they're going to be launched out into the community. And that is going to be, their day. It's spent going to be doing a variety of different enriching things in the community, and then they'll come back at the end of the day for transportation. And so, as LaVoice was mentioning, we have some individuals who are currently at Woodmont that would be a great fit potentially for this new program. So we're looking at, once we kind of prioritize that list, as LaVoice mentioned, that some of those folks from the current CIC program might move into that slot or some type of hybrid of that slot, which will, also provide additional openings for others interested in the Woodmont program.
Okay, so folks interested in an Arlington day program, because that's the other reason that we've been expanding day program, or in any of these programs that you talked about, just talk to your service coordinator, any of these programs and anything else we've talked about today. Arlington Weaves, are there any openings right now?
There's no current openings right
Okay.
now.
And then what about employment access? Are there openings
So
there?
So with employment access, we are still accepting applications, but we're currently going down the list, and same thing, having tours and assessments, and we take those, at this point, of course, we take them as we receive a referral from a support coordinator. We go in order. So I know not all the applications have been processed yet. So I don't know exactly once those we'll process them in the order we receive. But right now we have not filled out the slots yet.
Yeah, but we're close. The other thing about employment access is that we did intentionally hold 3 of the 15 slots to give priority for grads as well. So for FY24 grads.
Okay. But if anyone's interested in any of these programs that we've spoken to, in short, talk to your service coordinator and let them know what you're interested in. And there may be options. You might be interested in one, but there may be other options that your service coordinator says, hey, how about this? Or, thinking about pulling together your day, or let's refer you to one of these programs that can help you patch together a meaningful day that you choose. Just in terms of questions, I'm sorry, we're almost out of time, and I just wanted to reiterate, if you did not get information about this from the DD committee mailing list, and you would like to get the, you'll get the PDF of all of this, plus some other resources after this call, as well as the link for this presentation to everyone that's on our DD list, and to anyone that's on the developmental services list that Carlo sends. So either of those. The next DD committee meeting is on May 14th. We meet virtually and in person from 4 to 6. Everyone is welcome. And then LaVoice, can you just do a quick pitch for the Employment Summit?
Oh, yes. Thank you so very much. We are actually having our 3rd employment summit. The last 2 we did, I believe, might have been back in 2017 and then 2018. But we are hosting an employment summit on May 29th. And it is to target businesses in the Arlington community with the focus on educating and informing the businesses, not just about individuals with developmental disabilities, but also about their abilities in the employment settings as well, in terms of how they can contribute to the needs of these businesses and vice versa. So we are going to be inviting, or have started inviting, we've actually got some RSVPs already from some businesses as well, from some of our outreach efforts. So we're looking to have businesses in Arlington. We're also looking to have our employment services organization. So I'll get the flyers out to them shortly. And then we're also going to have individuals that we support that are successfully working, job coaches. One of the things that I'm very excited about on the that we're going to have as part of the program is we'll have 2 sort of back-to-back panels. Each will feature an individual that we support that is successfully working, along with their job coach and the supervisor, so that businesses that are coming can actually hear from, firsthand from people that were supported, and from the supervisor about how how it works, and job coaches in terms of how they support the individual as well. So we're very excited about that. And then we'll also have DARs invited in part of the programming as well. And of course, members of our DD committee as well. So I will actually have Carlo also send out the flyer, because if you know of a business or you visit or frequent a business, particularly here in Arlington, feel free to share the flyer to let us know, and we can do the outreach. So if you go to a dry cleaner in Arlington, or you go to a local market or something, we want you to also be able to support us in identifying businesses. And if you happen to have a business or be a business owner, we want you to come and participate as well. We are looking to have are inviting our human resources as well. So we want to have them come, whether it's our local DHS human resource, just a representative, or someone from the Arlington County Human Resources as well, to be a part of it.
And
Maimuna.
Maimuna, did you want to add to that?
Yes, good evening. Thank you so very much. This was so enlightening and informative, and thanks to all the partners. We need to update the date. Donna Butway in the chat brought it up that Wednesday, May 19th is incorrect.
I know,
May
I'm sorry,
19th is a
Maimuna.
Sunday. So if you
Yes,
can make
it's
that
the
update.
29th. Yes.
Yeah, definitely May 29th. Thank you,
It was
Maimuna, for
it was
catching
pretty
that.
late last night, but thank
That's
you.
okay. That's all right. Thank you. So
And-
let me put that in the chat.
And Bertra, co-chair of the DD committee, is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
Not at all. Thank you, Chair. I think you did a great job on this. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Bertra. Okay, thanks everyone, and please feel free to join the mailing list. LaVoice, if you can send me any of the emails and names that were put in there.
Right, I got all of the names in the
Okay.
chat, so I'll send those, and I'll make sure that Carlo gets that as well.
Great.
And we should have the link for the meeting ready in a few days.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you especially to our service providers and folks who came and shared a little bit about their programs. I learned so much through this process.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.